All right. We're live. Y'all got to introduce yourselves.
Woohoo.
Who are you?
Who are we?
I mean, we know that you're the bosses of 10 Missions Media. We know you run the place. Okay. We know that Chris tries to make it sound like it's him, but clearly that's not the case.
Oh my goodness.
So, who are you and what do you do?
That is a great question. My name is Megan Haran. I am the Community Development Associate with 10 Missions Media and all of the great brands that we represent. Kate, you go.
I'm Kate Phelan. I'm the event producer with 10 Missions Media.
You're the lady I get all the emails from.
You're correct. Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And that's how you say my last name, Phelan. Yeah.
Phelan. Listen,
I'm sure a ton of people have been looking at it for a couple years now.
I may have said it wrong a couple
that's
times,
okay.
just so you're aware.
That's okay.
So we're here to talk Adapt today.
We are.
And Adapt's fairly new, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember David coming to me and being like, what the heck is Adapt? Like, what is it?
Mm-hmm.
And so what is it? What is Adapt?
That is a great question. So Adapt, the first year that we were able to host it was last year in December. So it was the very first time, very exciting. We invite all audiences of the automotive aftermarket. And it's really focusing on the trends in advanced vehicle design and the impacts on the automotive aftermarket.
That's pretty cool because
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of changes coming right now.
Right.
And it seemed like you had some star players there last year. So tell us a little bit about who attended.
Yeah, we had lots of representation with not only the mechanical side, collision side, all aspects. Some speakers that we had in attendance, we had Chris Chesney. He was there. He was great. Donnie Cipher. We had several OEMs that were there representing their companies.
Mike Anderson from the collision side.
Yeah, Mike Anderson.
Yep. Yeah.
So we had lots of key influential individuals that were there and who were,
That's really cool.
yeah. And what we want with our attendees too is just really to have a presence in the future of the automotive aftermarket.
Right. So you guys weren't necessarily in the technical side, but I'm sure being there, y'all took something away. What was it you guys brought back from that? You know?
Oof. There's a lot of changes out there.
Yeah.
You know, like not having a background in the aftermarket at all,
Mm-hmm.
learning, you know, through Ratchet and Wrench and Fender Bender and our other publications. Obviously, there's a lot of changes happening in the aftermarket, and being at Adapt, it was like, you know, that first day was kind of like, oh, wow, there's a lot of changes happening. How are we going to, you know, handle these? And then that second day, we had just had a lot of solutions, and there's a lot of shop owners there that have a lot of great tactics of how they're dealing with all the changes in their shops. And so it's just nice to see at that that second day to see like we can get through all these changes together.
Yeah.
And so it's like, whoof, but we're going to make it through.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm rolling around in a 2006 Pontiac Grand Prix. So it was very interesting. I rumble up to work and I swear I make quite a bit of noise, but it's just very interesting, like all of the new advancements and what is really out there and understanding that too without that background.
So my big question for you is, are you going to buy a new car now? Or are you just going to?
Heck yes. Yeah,
Okay.
We're getting there. I'm doing some research now. So if anyone has any.
The correct answer is no. It's like, why would you want to get into that mess? Like, why would you? The complexity, the expense. Keep the 2006.
I mean, I hear
kinda-
Is
you.
it rusting out?
A little bit. I've had this thing for a lot. You know, I've had it for a while.
We have one of those as my loaner vehicles.
Do you?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I got into an accident with one of my cars,
Mhm.
and that's what I drove as my daily. It's the 2006 Grand Prix. Lots of power. 3.8.
It's a great question.
You got to
No,
know the engine size.
It's great.
What do you do for a living?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in the automotive aftermarket media. You don't know what engine size?
Listen, we're supposed to be taking care of those things for her. This is your
Exactly.
fault.
I'm getting you to attend the event. Yeah.
You're supposed to be taking care of this for her. I mean, oh, you know what? You know whose fault this is? Scott Palava.
Scott Palava. Yeah.
I mean, he's from Minnesota. He could have taught this young lady about her car.
Anyway, it's a great vehicle.
It really is.
Yeah.
It
I have to
really
say,
is.
I bought a car last Christmas, and after going to a local ADAS calibration center and learning about all that, I got the dumbest car I could get that was new.
Right?
Because it scared me so much.
Right.
Like they were like, yeah, if this is off by a degree, your sensor could be off by this many feet. I was like, I don't want to deal with it.
Exactly. If I hit something, I just want to know it was my fault, not
Yep.
anyone else's.
Exactly.
Like, I don't need anybody to blame. So
I can't handle that. So I got a rental in Pennsylvania,
Mhm.
and it had the doodad, and I'm driving down the road, and this is like windy mountain roads. And I'm like, yeah, I'll turn it on and see, and it gets really close to the end, and you're like, and then it starts to steer. It gets way too close to the cars. It freaks me out. I can't do
yeah,
it.
I turn it off. I'm in the car and I'm like, boop,
Yep.
turn it off. I'll drive myself. I want
Yeah.
to know I'm okay.
Straight and
Yeah.
flat. So if you're like Western Kansas, where it's like 300 miles of straight and flat, I could see that. You turn it on, take a nap.
Yeah. Good
So-
old North Dakota.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So there is a European instructor, and he's probably the most brilliant automotive instructor I've ever listened to. And there's lots of really great
Mhm.
instructors, right? And so his name's Ian Levy, and he teaches for WorldPack. And he comes in one time and he's teaching a class, and it was Mercedes-Benz body. And he's teaching this class, and he's explaining like what's coming. And he's laying it out beautifully, and it makes perfect sense, the whole 9 yards. And I start seeing technicians shut their books. And one of them said, "Hey, listen, if this is where we're going, I need a new job, man. I can't do this. I'm good. I'm good." And so that's really what this event is about.
Right.
Yeah.
Is a little bit of unity and helping us all get back on the same page. So we're not spread out like that. And we talk a lot about technician issues and shop ownership
Mhm.
issues on the podcast. And so a lot of them, they need that unity right now. And this is a great place to do that, because you invite technicians and owners
Right.
and service advisors. Anybody that wants to come can
Mhm.
come, right?
Yeah.
Correct. Yep.
It's anyone that works in a shop, and we do also include educators or people in school too, because we think that you need a holistic approach to this. Everyone needs
Right.
to be in the room. Everyone needs a seat at the
Right.
table.
That's pretty cool.
But this is the OE's fault. Like, they're coming up with this ridiculous technology, and you're like, you don't need the car to do that. You know that, right?
And that's why we have them there too.
To blame them?
Well,
No.
just to have that conversation, just
Wait a
to
minute, you can't
open up the
backpedal
floor.
now,
open up the floor, that dialogue.
right?
So when everybody gets angry hearing about this technology coming, does everybody just shift their gaze over to the OEs and going, why?
I don't think that's quite what happens.
No.
It's
I feel
more
like it is.
maybe we're just naive enough.
We
to
could
think
very
that
well
that's
be.
Not quite what
Could very well be.
So, last year I attended the Ratchet and Wrench Management Conference. I'm going to tell you what, you guys put on an amazing show. I mean, and what I thought was so
All you
cool.
guys.
I don't know about all that. I mean, and the reason I say that is because everything from the way you did the lunch and the way that you had all of these networking opportunities at the show, I've never seen anything like that. And I mean, it was like groundbreaking in my mind, because it was creating conversation that wasn't happening otherwise. And it was doing things that broke the ice a little bit, because
Mhm.
you see a lot of shop owners and a lot of technicians, sometimes they can be a little awkward socially.
Mhm.
And so it really broke the ice and got people talking. Whereas especially going to an event where you don't know anybody, right? Like,
Yeah.
we go to a lot of events and we know people all over the place. So
Mhm.
it's not that big of a deal. But I talk to a lot of owners like, hey, I'm not going somewhere because I don't know anybody. You guys implement a lot of stuff in your shows that help create networking and make everybody feel comfortable. Now, is Ratchet Wrench close to the same time as Adapt this year?
It sure is. So internally, we're deeming the 3 events that are back to back to back, the trifecta. But we have, first and foremost, Ratchet and Wrench, which will take place in September, starting it off September 21st to the 23rd. Adapt is right in the middle, September 24th to the 25th. And then Fender Bender Management Conference will be the 26th to the 28th.
That's pretty cool. So
Yes.
y'all have
Yeah.
got like a really busy week and a half.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's also
right?
called Kate and Megan Move to Texas.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yes, it will be in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so technically in Arlington, Texas.
Yep.
Got you. So
Mhm.
I do have to ask the question: are there going to be furries at this event? Because that was very, very interesting.
I would like to go on the record and show that there's only one ballroom, there's only one conference space at this hotel, so we will not have that problem this year.
You know, Chris said
Lucas
that,
didn't see it as a problem. He was excited.
You know,
All sorts of new opportunities.
Yeah,
True.
I mean, look, the elevator situation was a little bit odd. Seeing PJ's face. PJ's face was priceless.
you know, we our goal was to make it memorable, and I
It
feel
was
like that
memorable.
definitely.
It
we-
was memorable.
We didn't have Ratchet and Wrench for 2 years, so here we go.
Here we go.
Exactly.
with fur on
I think I am pretty positive Chris set that up.
it.
Just saying. So again, say the dates for Adapt.
Yep.
We want to make sure everybody gets that.
Yep. Adapt is the September 24th through the 25th, and we do actually
Okay.
have a discount code for any
Cool.
podcast listeners, any live stream listeners out there. So it's
Nice.
ASOG, ASOG.
Awesome.
Mhm.
You get $500 off your ticket.
That is
go to
amazing.
adaptsummit.com.
Very cool. Well, we will definitely get that shared out. And so adaptsummit.com.
Yep.
Yep.
And
Very
that's
cool.
where you get all the information about the event, including the agenda when that's released.
Is there anything else you want our listeners to know?
Got to come to Adapt.
You got to come.
Hey.
We'd love to meet you.
Yep.
We're going to be there.
So
We're
we can
definitely-
throw things at the OEs, cuss them out.
Hey, you could throw a furry at them.
How's that going to work?
Hey, listen, man.
We got some
I've seen you
time.
do some amazing things.
Throwing furry ones.
Listen, your video editing skills, you just need to take them up another notch between now.
I'm just upset at these OEs. They're putting too much junk in these cars. They're ruining everything. We had it all figured out, and they're like, I'm gonna tweak this just because.
Okay. Let me explain something to you. For the past 4 days, I've driven a vehicle that has this Uconnect software in it.
It's old Uconnect software though.
I understand.
It's really, really old.
I understand.
It's like
that.
getting mad at the original iPhone because it doesn't, I don't know, connect to 4G or something. Like
Bro, it's in like a 2014 model vehicle. Do you know how frustrating it is not being able
17, I think. They're not going to give you a 14. How many miles do they have?
75,000. I told you it felt like I was on a rumble strip.
You must be on like a bad list. Like, do not rent this person a nice vehicle.
That
Did
is,
you request a van specifically?
listen, that is possible. That is possible.
I bought my minivan. I love my minivan. I bought my minivan because it had like old school refrigerant in it, didn't have any driver doodad things, or it barely has Bluetooth.
That is my whole problem. I don't even care if it runs, bro. I'll push it. I need my Bluetooth to work.
Bluetooth is stupid.
See, I do have to say that's the one thing I needed in my dumb new car was I wanted Bluetooth. I was still operating with a CD player. I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, I can't do
Yeah, but
this.
you've got
and
like
you got Mr. Dad over here who doesn't even care if Bluetooth works. I don't understand.
the problem with Bluetooth is the connection speed. So you get in the car and some of these newer vehicles, they have Android Auto or Apple, whatever, and you get in the car and you're like, beep boop. I'm like, okay, let's go. And you're trying to hook up the maps because you don't know where the hell you are, right? And you're trying to get somewhere and you're just waiting. And it's probably 30 to 45 seconds. Well, by that time, I'm already on the road and I already made the wrong turn. So I'm going down the wrong way, the interstate, going, oh, geez, I got to turn around because this thing took almost a minute to connect. Or
has
a
anyone else
simple
thought about
aux
the
cord, simple aux cord, right? You could have gotten an after. I'm not talking to her. She already ruined herself. I'm just talking to you. So you can go get an aftermarket radio, right, with an aux cord, and it'll hook up to your phone. Maybe they ruined the phones, didn't they? We just had talked to Sanel. They got rid of I have to have a 3.5 millimeter jack on my phones. I can't buy a phone that doesn't have one. For that, yeah, and you're like, oh yeah, there you go. So,
Has it occurred to you at this point in time?
do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know how old you guys look, but I think I'm way older than you, and I'm just telling you, like all phones back in the day used to have with these little doodads right here,
Yeah.
and you would plug these things to it, and
Yeah.
it sounds fantastic, so much better than. And I can charge the phone
What?
and listen to music at the same time. Isn't that wild?
This feels like a part 2 conversation.
It definitely is. I just want to highlight the fact that he's
Anyway,
really
so you
worried.
can
Where's the mute
the aux
button?
you can take the aux cord and you can plug it into the head unit, and then that's it. Instant connection. You don't have to wait 6 minutes for the thing to hook up and
Bro,
finally
that's a
connect.
Uconnect thing. That doesn't have.
No,
that's just
no.
Uconnect.
I had a Kia Sorento
With the square cup holder.
with the Android. Yes, with the square cup holders. Android Auto was awful. It was so bad.
If you want to know more about his Kia Sorento, there is a whole episode of the podcast on it.
I'm just saying, look, I'm going to go to Adapt and yell at the OEs for ruining car stereos, cruise control. Although if it does stop for me, that's kind of cool. Like it keeps the distance in front. That's pretty cool. It shouldn't.
you
The steering
definitely
thing
need
though
that.
is weird.
You,
The steering thing is weird.
you definitely need crash protection.
I do, because I'm playing with my phone while I'm driving.
Oh God.
Y'all have figured out this is what I deal with. Right?
So you can get a aftermarket head unit. This is all I'm telling you. You can get an aftermarket head unit that'll either connect with a cable, like the good Lord intended, or you can get Bluetooth and it'll do whatever you need it to do. And it normally works better than the OE stuff. The OE stuff is rough.
Hey, I do have a question. So if we could get David on a panel with the OEs, do you think you could get them to sit on the stage for more than maybe 5 or 6 minutes so he could voice his
I will
concern?
I don't know
Wow.
about if after this podcast that's going to be possible.
They ruined these cars. They ruined them. It's so bad. It's stupid.
I don't even know what to say.
And and the other problem too is they really should have just gone to some of these manufacturers, like the phone manufacturers, and said, "Hey, I just want to cast the phone onto the screen, and then maybe add the little doodads here on the button, or just have dials. Like you used to have dials. Everything is like touch panels now.
Yeah.
So if you buy something new, what did you end up buying?
A 2019 HRV, Honda HRV.
Okay.
It does not have a touchscreen.
Yeah, but I think I think the heating and air conditioning are capacitive touch. They're not like you have the actual like dials.
Yeah.
Good. See, they learned.
I'm old
She's a
school.
smart chick.
Well,
I'm a smart chick with a dumb car. That's the key.
No, that's really smart because they had a few years where it was like all capacitive touch and they had all these problems with these things. They made them overly complicated. Where yours has like dials and it's
I
simple.
have to sit there, especially with the cold weather, and go like this to turn my heat up. So I would love to have a dial.
So you need a different 2006 Pontiac Grand Prix.
I need something else. Yeah.
Automatic climate control. That's the only thing I have to have. I just want to set it to like 70 and then that's it. The car just figures the rest out.
So seriously, we're all wondering, are you going to ratchet, wrench, and adapt this year?
You tell me. You set my schedule.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
that's-
Yeah, that's a yes. I mean,
You better check the calendar because you make commitments.
they
and
said
like,
yes-
hey, we have to be
if they said yes, that
in
means that we have
Florida
to go.
and Maine at the same time, back to back.
There's only one place you have to be September 21st through 23rd and 24th and 25th, and that's in Arlington, Texas.
There's a great roller coaster right up the street.
Yeah, it's Six Flags.
Yes.
Yep.
And the Texas Giant. So they rebuilt. I took pictures of it. So we went there for summer vacation, and the Texas Giant is legit. It is awesome. Have you ridden it?
No.
It's so good.
So
It is so good.
that's going to be a podcast excerpt of you guys riding it.
Oh my God.
We'll
We
record
have
ourselves.
GoPros. We have
Oh
GoPros.
my God.
Yes.
My hands are getting sweaty just thinking about that. Oh
It
my
is so
God.
good. So that it's a hybrid steel wooden coaster. So it doesn't go all the way upside down, but it flips you like
Oh.
this.
Oh, great.
It's so good. My 6-year-old rode it. He was
Oh,
barely tall enough. He was going bananas. He loved it.
Oh my gosh.
But the whole time I'm like, I'm sure if he was going to get ejected, he was going to go. But I was
You
still.
mom armed him?
Yes, the whole time I was freaked out. My wife does the same thing too. Like, so we rode it several times.
Oh my gosh.
And the whole time I'm just holding on to dear life. And He was having a blast,
The-
but I was freaked out.
So the Velocicoaster at Universal
Yes.
Orlando, that sucker's intense.
Have you ridden it?
Yeah.
They hadn't finished building it when I was there.
So like it doesn't have shoulder straps,
Uh-uh.
so you feel like you're
Oh,
in
so
the
it's a
air the
thing?
whole time.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it
dude.
just lap?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty intense.
The Six Flags in California.
Mhm.
What's it called?
Oh.
Six Flags.
No, they have a certain name. It's like Magic Mountain or something like that. And there's a steel hybrid there that does go like it corkscrews several times. And I didn't know. I'd never been on a steel hybrid anything. And I sit down and they just put the lap. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this is gonna be fun. It's a steel hybrid. And then like halfway through, you like flip upside down and you're like, whoa, what just happened? And then again and again. Oh, it's so good. That was the best coaster there.
Yeah.
So I just want you both to know that's what it takes to keep David's attention for more than maybe 3 or 4 minutes.
That's
Okay.
good.
I think
Roller
it's called
coasters.
Magic Mountain.
So, moral of the
It's
story is
bothering me. I don't know what it is.
Arlington, Texas in September for not only
Yeah,
the
Magic
events, but also the Texas Giant.
Dude,
Mountain. The Texas Giant. Yeah.
That is a huge factor, right? Especially for people local, right? Like if you want to really draw people in,
Right.
there's got to be stuff for families to do around there.
Yeah. Yep.
The past couple of events we've gone to have had things like, there's tools in Pennsylvania where it's at a water park so you can take your family.
Yeah.
That's really important because a lot of these shop owners and a lot of these technicians, when they go to an event, it means they're away from their families and they're already away from them for 50 or 60 hours a week in some cases.
Yeah.
So it's really cool that you guys did this somewhere that's close to things that a family could do.
Yeah, it's
Um,
a really cool venue. It's at the Live by Lowe's in Arlington, and
Really?
it's situated like right in between the Cowboys Stadium and the Rangers Stadium.
That's
And then there's
crazy.
the new Texas Live. It's like this like big complex with like 6 or 7 different restaurants. There's a
Mhm.
mechanical bull.
Whoa.
There's like this spot right next door to it that's like
And the
basically-
theme park is right
and
there.
the theme park is like right
It's
up on
right
the
there.
high. Yeah.
It's
Yep.
right there.
So we're going.
What's that? I'll go to the theme park. Yeah.
It's great.
I want to ride the Texas Giant again.
And adapt.
And I have freezy tickets. I paid for like a year of get in as often as you want for Six Flags. I know, right?
It's so cool.
You can get in as many
Yeah.
times as you want, and I get preferred parking, and it's not that expensive either.
VIP.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
like
Six
full
Flags.
VIP everything at Six Flags.
So you're buying
Free
everybody else's
drinks.
tickets too?
All you can drink. They give you a free cup. You walk around with the cup the entire time.
So we're going to adapt.
Sure.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right.
$500 off if I put an ASOG in
That's
the
right.
discount.
All right.
Yes.
Listen here, everybody. That means, camera right there. That means you've got to come to adapt too. Girls, tell them the link
To
to the
yell
website.
at the OEs.
It is adaptsummit.com.
And what's the code again? Just make sure they hear it.
ASOG. ASOG.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, guys,
Thank
for
you.
being here.
Thanks for having us.